So today I'm going to show you how to make this chicken stuffing casserole. It's a recipe that I got from my mother-in-law a while back, and we've used it in our family for quite a while. So I think it's a recipe that you might enjoy, and it's really easy to make. Okay, so before you start cooking, you want to make sure you get everything you need together. Trip to the grocery store and pick up some Stovetop Stuffing. This one is chicken flavored. You want to get a can of cream of chicken soup, and make sure that it's the cream and not like chicken noodle or something like that. You want to get chopped broccoli, and sometimes the chopped broccoli is hard to find, so if you have to get just the regular florets, then you'll just have to chop them up by hand. And then you want to make sure that you get some boneless chicken. Make sure that it's boneless because you don't want to be trying to cut into this with bones in it. Okay, you also want to make sure that you have a baking dish. This baking dish is like a 9 by 12, and I think they normally come like 9 by 13, so a standard baking dish. You need a mixing bowl, a strainer, a measuring cup, and a spoon for mixing. Okay, so one thing I did forget to mention is that you're also going to need butter, so get some butter out. And then I went ahead and preheated the oven. The oven is at 375, and what I've done is I went ahead and I put all of the chicken in here, just kind of flattened out the chicken breasts a little bit. And when my daughter makes this recipe, she actually likes to slice the chicken in half so that it's thinner, and you can also buy it a thinner sliced chicken, so if you like it that way instead, that's a good thing to do. I went ahead and I put the frozen chopped broccoli in the strainer and ran some water through it so it's ready to go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to layer my broccoli on there. And I do use all of it, pretty close to all of it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix up my stuffing, and I'm really just kind of following the side of the box here that says the microwave version of it. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out of here, and then I'm going to throw it in the bowl. I melted the 4 tablespoons of butter, melted it in there, and then I'm adding the 1.5 cups of water. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mix that up. And you don't want it too runny. If you find that when you're using the water that it's too much, the next time you try it, you might want to start off with just a cup and then add more, or vice versa. Okay, so you just want to get it all moist in there. So you might even have to let it sit for a little bit, for a couple minutes, but it will end up looking like stuffing, okay? So you want this texture, you don't want it all watery. And then it's ready to go ahead and spread. So just kind of spread it all the way around. And again, I use pretty much all of it. Sometimes I'll make this recipe in a half a dish, like an 8 by 8 pan instead. I won't use as much. So in that case, I probably wouldn't use all the stuffing. But you're pretty much just covering the broccoli. Okay. And kind of flatten it down a little bit as well as when you're going along there. Okay, so now you're ready to start spreading the cream of chicken. So the way I do it is I go ahead and kind of plop it in different spots, because what will happen is the stuffing will end up sticking to it. So I think that if I kind of do it this way, it makes it a little bit easier to spread. Okay, and again, I use the whole can. Okay, and then I just kind of go back and forth, kind of like if you were frosting a cake, and back and forth this way, getting it on there, just covering the whole thing. Okay, and now it's ready to go in the oven. Okay, so as I've mentioned, I went ahead and preheated my oven to 375. I'm ready to go ahead and pop it in here, and it's going to stay in the oven for about an hour. So go ahead and just put it in there, and you can check on it kind of after about 45 minutes or so, but it's usually good for about an hour, so just set the timer and let it go. Okay, so it's been an hour, timer's gone off, it's time to pull this out of the oven. So be careful because it's really, really hot. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out here. and this is what it looks like. It looks like it's done. If I want to make sure that the chicken is cooked all the way through, I might go ahead and pull out my meat thermometer and stick it in the chicken to make sure that it's reached the correct temperature. But other than that, it's ready to go. I usually cook up some corn to go on the side, serve it up, and we love it. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe as well.